You're gonna pull those pistols and whistle Dixie.
Oh, yeah, we've had a day today, Falls fans. Welcome to the House of Orange post-game show. Frank Rock, House of Orange Sports Channel. We got a lot to talk about today. We got the football game. We got playoffs. We got recruiting to talk about as well. I hope you'll tune in today for we're going to put a positive spin on all this. Everything that's happened today, we're putting that spin on it. Tennessee takes care of business today, 56-0. Not an ideal first quarter. Pretty ideal last three quarters, especially with everything that happened along the way as well. Make sure you hit that like, that share, that subscribe as well. We'll see how long we go on this. We'll see what kind of crowd we'll get. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for your support, those of you who are in here right now. We had a pretty good crowd last night for basketball. We got all these post games. There's a lot of competition on as well. When you get to basketball, when you get to baseball, cannot stress this enough. You're not going to find a better option on here than right here. This is the place for basketball, baseball, football. Man, everybody's doing it. Everybody's doing it. Let's get into this thing, though. Tennessee 56, UTEP nothing. The biggest news of the day, though, let's get right into this. The win is big, but Florida defeats Ole Miss today, 24-17. That was the news we need as of now. We still, I feel, need more help because Ohio State did beat Indiana thoroughly. I'm still skeptical. Does Indiana fall below the playoffs? So with one loss, their only loss is going to be to Ohio State. So with so many Big Ten members on that committee, where do they fall? I'm still skeptical that they fall out of the playoff race. What I think we need to happen, we still need Minnesota to beat Penn State. We need Oklahoma to beat Alabama. That's the two that stand out to me. Notre Dame, we need them to either lose to Army and or USC along the way. So I don't think we're out of the woods yet. We're in good shape. I think next week, though, we have to go down to Nashville. I don't think this is one we just have to skip by. I think we have to thoroughly win this game. But if we get some more help along the way, I think a win is a win. I think we're good at that point with a win. And based on where we're at today, that was the big one. Florida over Ole Miss. That was the one that stood out to me today. Looking at, let's see, let me pull up the scores because I'm not even Penn State and Minnesota right now, second quarter. They're 10-10. I still think that's one that could play out pretty well for us today. Let me see if I can get these scheduled or this scoreboard. Here we go. I mean, here's a big one. Arizona State 21-0 over BYU already. That Big 12, woo. Kansas up 20-7 over Colorado. That's a big one. Let me find some of the. Here we go. Indiana 38. I'm sorry. Ohio State 38-15 over Indiana. Their coach, he's run his mouth all week. He has he's flapped his gums. He's been talking about maybe the SEC scheduling these lower non-conference games. His whole schedule is garbage other than Ohio State. Hats off to them. They've had a great year. But, and I'll be honest, I don't know the formula for it all because how do you, it's almost like apples to apples, oranges to oranges. I know we can sit here and say, yeah, we think the SEC is better than the ACC. We think the SEC is better than the Big Ten and vice versa. But how do we truly prove it is a big thing. We got to find a way to truly prove it. And maybe we go to something. Somebody suggested maybe it was Monday night. The SEC goes to 32 teams. The SEC, the Big Ten, they're talking. Do they both go to, like the pros, 32 teams? And here's the thing, and I'm going to put recruiting into this. Bryce Lockwood just flipped from LSU to Michigan earlier in the week. It's being said he's getting paid $11 million. Well, guess what today? David Sanders Jr. is visiting Ohio State, and everything that's being read said this is very serious. And Austin Price of AllQuest.com, based on all his comments, this one doesn't sound real good for Tennessee. So we're basically a pro league. We're basically getting agents involved. It's a highest bidder. Doesn't matter what you've said all this time. It matters at the end who comes in the highest bidder, which is garbage. But, if we're going to get into that, let's break into two leagues. The SEC backed by ESPN, the Big Ten backed by Fox. And then we'll just meet for the championship at the end of the year. I think it's a bad thing. I think it's a bad look for college football, but it's where we're at today as well. And I think Tennessee today, let's get into this game for them. Again, they start off not too good, but then they go on a bit of a run. The beautiful for me today, Dylan Sampson sets the single season program record. Brew McCoy finally gets a touchdown. Not only does he get one, he gets a couple. Nico gets 4 touchdowns through the air today. Sampson only had 11 carries, 77 yards, did not go for 100 today. They did not need him to. Peyton Lewis went 746, 2 touchdowns. Cam Seldon, 9 for 44. Here's my thing with this coaching staff. Cam Seldon is the second best running back on this football team. I've said it all year long. I don't back away from that. Yet this coaching staff has determined Deshaun Bishop's put into work. Peyton Lewis has put into work. Cam Seldon is the second best, most talented running back on this football team. And if it costs you Cam Seldon at the end of the year because you've underutilized him, so be it. It's going to be really interesting at the end of the year to see where this goes. But we didn't learn anything about this Tennessee football team today that we don't already know. We've seen it in these games that they played these types of teams. And, frankly, next week is going to be when it's all said and done. Probably not going to go much longer with you. We don't have much of an audience here. Thank you to the 23, 24 of you who are here. I'm going to wrap this up here in a couple minutes. But the bottom line is we got the help we needed today. Next week, this team is going to have to take care of business in Nashville. They're going to have to do their thing. A couple things I like we saw today. Mike Matthews, one catch for 25 yards. He had another one for a touchdown, was called back because of a so-called illegal block by Holden Stays. They showed it on the replay. There was nothing to it. Braylon Staley caught a pass for 10 yards. Those guys, they're going to be key next year for this team. But, that was big. We look at a lot of guys played on defense. Honestly, there's really not a whole lot to talk about on this game today, but Tennessee did take care of business. Right now, they're in the driver's seat. Ole Miss lost today. They need, I still think Texas A&M with any funny business could cause some issues, but, Auburn could take care of that tonight. If Alabama were to lose to Oklahoma tonight, that helps. Penn State loses to Minnesota, where they're locked 10-10 right now. So Tennessee has numerous ways into the playoff. Bottom line, I think if they win next week, I feel like they are in. Oh, now, I'm wrapping up on this one, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate all your support on this as well. This program, everything they're doing here. If you want everything program, if you want an everything program channel, right here's your place. This is the only one thoroughly covering all of the Tennessee sports, all of the Tennessee, the good things that's happening on the men's side, on the women's side. You're not getting that anywhere else. You can go there for football. If these plays pop up on these other sports, you can go there. But as far as consistency, right here. This is your place for Tennessee on YouTube. Frank Rock, House of Orange Sports Channel. I hope you have a great rest of your evening. And last but most certainly not least, go Vols.